The tale of Teddy Sheringham is one of an illustrious playing career spanning a quarter of a century. One of the most gifted footballers of his generation, the striker was privileged enough to play alongside some iconic teammates. Under the guidance of some of the game's most revered managers, until retirement beckoned in 2008.
I didn't feel inclined, didn't feel the urge, didn't feel that enthusiasm to get back into football.
It would take 5 years for the story to resume. After a brief spell coaching under Sam Allardyce at West Ham, the latest chapter finds Sheringham with League Two Stevenage, now in the formative stages of his own management career.
I don't like to use the word stressful. There's a lot more thought process in it. I wake up at, might be 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and I'll be, right, what am I going to do on Saturday if I put him over there and tuck him in on the left? But that's just the mind racing over, and there's a lot to think about. Even talking in front of a group of players, you know, I've never done it before. It's like, well, I'd get him to do that. I'd get him to do that, and he'd tuck in and go around the outside, and that's how I'd play. It's just natural, isn't it? But when you've got to explain that to 25 people, and you know, you've got 5 or 6 of them looking at you thinking, I'm not really sure. And you're like, what do you mean you're not sure? I just explained it to you. But you have to go down and in detail to make sure that everybody understands what we're wanting. And you don't think about that when you go into your first job. You only pass on what you've been taught yourself. All these fantastic managers that I played for have passed on their knowledge to me to make me a better player. So in every different aspect, you know, I might think of a certain manager to do something, but then I don't want to be trying to be anybody else. You know, I am myself. If you try and be somebody else, you're going to fall down.
Sheringham entered the record books in 1999 when he became the fastest to score off the bench in an FA Cup final. But with his side struggling in League Two, the impact hasn't been as instant with Stevenage.
I'm very glad that I've come in at this level, because if I'd have gone in at a higher level, I probably would have been blown away. The mistakes I made early in the season. If I'd have done that in a more profile club, I probably would have been kicked out long before now. But the game is all about winning, so I need to learn quickly and get points on the board along the way.
Winning became a habit while playing for Manchester United. But to be successful as a boss, he knows what he needs.
Time. You get your own time, I think, in anything. I don't know what my way is yet. You know, I'm 5 months into my managerial career. For me, as a first-time manager, it's all about survival. If I'm trying to learn and not getting the results along the way, then I'm gone. You know, I could say, you know, give me a run of, 4 months, and the chairman, I haven't got 4 months with you. You know, I've got to look after my football club, and I understand that. I'm under no illusions about what this job is all about. Every day we come in, very privileged to get the chance to come here and work, speak to my staff, and big deep breath and go, what a place to do our work.
The next chapter of his story finds Sheringham preparing for Saturday's visit of League One Gillingham at the club's modern training facilities, part funded by FA Cup exploits of the past.
I'm not going to cover up that we need a cup run to generate money for the football club. But what a fixture. You know, Gillingham will be looking at us and thinking struggling in the second division. But it's a game that we can attack and enjoy without any pressure on us to go through to the next round.
And fate, the author of this grand old competition, has written its own subplot as he goes head-to-head with former teammate Justin Edinburgh.
Played with Justin for 5 years in my first spell at Tottenham, so I know all about him, good lad. Didn't expect him to go into management, but what he has done in management I'm very impressed with, especially knowing now how hard the job is. We want to put on a performance and show people what we can do and get a result. So I'm coming after you, Just.